All right, here with Providence associate head coach Jeff Battle. Providence now through 9-3 after starting Big East play with a victory at Seton Hall, 71-67. Down 9 at half. Kind of what was the message in the locker room? You guys came out strong and obviously pulled out the victory.
Well, the message was to obviously compete at a higher level. We felt like we were getting good looks. We weren't finishing. We missed some shots around the basket, some easy shots that we should make and usually do make. So, we felt like we were guarding pretty well, but just had to change our mindset. We wanted to be much more aggressive and much more assertive on the offensive end and not as tentative. And I think first Big East game, I think a few of the guys were a little jittery at first, but once we settled in the second half, I thought we did a lot better than what we started the game off as that type of mentality.
Yeah, and 45 of your, I think 71 points came from obviously your starting front court. Can you speak to kind of Croswell, Hopkins, their effectiveness, not just this game, but all year, but especially this game? I think they combined shooting 16 for 27, but just their impact, especially in the second half.
Well, that was part of our game plan coming in, was to play in front of the rim, try to play inside out. We say that a lot because that's the kind of the makeup of our post players, our post play, if you will. But Ed and Bryce, they're a unique combination too. Bryce can play outside and he can play inside. He's a very skilled passer that helps Ed, on the inside maneuver, and Bryce finds him. So they did a great job of playing off each other, and I was excited about it because they beat the hell out of each other in practice every day.
Yeah.
So to see them kind of impose their will on someone else was fun to watch.
Definitely. And I know last time we talked, you had mentioned, Alan Breed, someone that sometimes doesn't get as much of the flowers as maybe he should, but just his effectiveness in this game coming off the bench. Again, what he means and what he brings to the table when he enters that game.
Yeah, he just, he's a calming force. Like I mentioned to you before, he just, he knows our system. He knows how we want things done. I mean, he plays both ends of the floor. He can guard the other team's best player. He can play the point. He can play off the ball. He just does so many things, and he's a great closer because he can make free throws late in the games. So he just brings a lot of value to our team. And so, kudos to him for just staying with it, and his head's always into the game. He was great on the bench. Hey coach, this is what we need to do. He's locked in. So just a very good veteran player to have in on your team and in your program.
Definitely. And, obviously a win is a win, especially in the Big East. It is hard to win any game, especially on the road. Obviously, from a coaching perspective, maybe a couple lapses down the stretch. What do you feel like you guys need to tighten up in those last 2-3 minutes of a game? Because really in every Big East game, it's going to come down to, who executes in those last 3 minutes.
Exactly. And we tell our guys that all the time. We work on in the game situations a lot. Coach Cooley's very good at the end of games. So we talked about that. Like a lot of these games are going to come down to, one or two possessions and details, and paying attention to details, the small things, whether it's, how we want to guard things at the end of the game. Where do you need to be at for half court execution if we're trying to score, to either get cushion for, from a team or to get back in the game. So it's just valuable. So we work on that a ton. So, and even in this game, I think we were up, I don't know, 7 or something like that, maybe with 2 minutes left or something like that. And, they made a run and cut it. So we had to execute some late game press offenses to get the ball in bounds, to get fouled. So, and then we show them the next day, hey, look, this is what we were talking about. So when we're going over this stuff, it's important that everybody's locked in.
Definitely. And, obviously no breaks in the Big East. You guys tomorrow play, your first home opener within the Big East against the Marquette squad. Very balanced. I think they got 4 guys that average double figures. Well-coached team. What have you seen, on the tape? What do you guys need to do to be effective against this Marquette team for 40 minutes?
Well, they're a terrific offensive team, spearheaded by Tyler Kolek, who's a terrific point guard, great vision. They have great spacing in their offense. They exploit you defensively if you have breakdowns. And they're guarding at a high clip as well. They pressure you, they get steals, they get deflections, they get in the open court. They just have a lot of balance offensively. They're talented. You know, Cam Jones is a terrific shooter, scorer. So they're tough. They're tough to deal with. It's going to be a tough game for us. We're going to have to really play well on both ends of the floor. But we're excited for the challenge, and I just think it's going to be another great Big East game.
Definitely. Well, last year I think spoke to it, but obviously having a home court advantage like you guys do. Obviously, looking forward to that game, that atmosphere again against a really good Marquette team. But thank you, again for the time. I'm sure, I mentioned execution. I don't know if you're a football guy, but did you get to watch the Patriot game last night?
I did. I watched the Patriots game at the end. It's funny. I was watching it with a friend of mine who's
Oh,
a big time Patriot fan, and on that last play, she literally just walked out of my house. She didn't. I don't even know if she said bye.
yeah. Yeah.
That was tough. That was
Yeah,
tough. So,
that was,
well, I'm an Eagles guy, as you know, so I'm
yes.
riding high a little bit right now. So,
No. Yes, as you should. Yeah, that was. I thought I'd seen it all. That was special, unique. But thanks again, and yeah, good luck. Good luck tomorrow.
no problem. Thanks so much for having me.